Hello, Albsterz here. Recently, I started playing Project Zomboid for the very first time, and I have fallen in love with the game. It is overwhelming, and that is why today we're going to have a little look at 101 beginner tips and tricks by that guy, Preds. But during the time of the first episode that's already up on the channel, I've realized that there's an interactive map for Project Zomboid, so I'm looking at that. I'm now planning ahead what buildings I want to loot, where do I want to set up my base and stuff like that. I can see where this is going to become my personality for the next couple of months, because I'm like, yes, I can do this, I can do that, oh, there's that I can do, this I've got a plan, oh, I've got to learn about this. So watching this video is going to help us if you're also a beginner yourself and playing Project Zomboid for the first time, or if you're a veteran, then you mostly know probably all of these tips.
Project Zomboid is easily one of the most difficult survival games available. It doesn't hold your hand at all, and it has a steep learning curve that can take players hundreds of hours before surviving their first month. I've compiled a list of 101...
100 hours? Oh, okay. Okay. And I also want to say thank you so much for all the people that left helpful comments and stuff on the first video as well. I really do appreciate it. I am a complete noob, so bear with me while we learn, but there is a massive learning curve to this game. I also want to do a thing as well. If there's any sort of way that you can write names or put stuff on plaques and stuff within Project Zomboid, for everyone that leaves a comment down below, each episode I will pick one person out, put their name in game or in our base somewhere, and do it like that and read the comment out at the beginning of the episode. I think that'd be really cool and a way to interact with the community as well. But let's continue on with the video, shall we?
One beginner tips and tricks to help making surviving the apocalypse just a little bit easier for you on your journey through Project Zomboid.
Oh, you get right!
Number 1, stop sprinting. No, seriously. You cannot walk zombies at your normal pace as long as you're not exerted or over encumbered. Sprinting is one of the highest risks of death that you'll ever endure in Project Zomboid as a beginner. Every time you see more than 2 zombies enter the frame, your first instinct, by default, will be to hit jets and dip out. Trust me. It's a hard habit to reprogram, but once you break it, you realize you can survive much longer by conserving stamina and just walking away.
So this must have killed... I think I've fallen victim to it a couple times as well. That you don't need to run. I just gotta not run, Forrest, run. We've just gotta take it nice and slow. I've also got pen and paper to take notes as well.
Drinking pond water won't kill you. This sounds stupid, but yeah, drinking the quote-unquote tainted pond water will not kill your character. You'll find yourself getting queasy, but as long as you don't start chugging it every 5 seconds, that'll go away. And you'll be left less thirsty and with no side effects.
Yes! So I can build the house by the lake. Hold on. So I've spawned in Riverside. This is where I've kind of spawned, and this is where I'm looking on the interactive map. This is where I want to set up base for the long term, because it's got water and stuff like that. But I can use the lake for fishing and a source of water. I don't mind getting queasy now and again, so that's my water source. All I've got to do is sort out the farming source, and we're good to go. Let me know if this is a good location, because I've got loads of ideas where I want to set up, but let's get back to the video.
Tip number 4. Rainwater, on the other hand, will kill you, which makes literally no sense at all. But yeah, drinking tainted rainwater will kill you the same way eating a poisonous mushroom or berry will leave you staring at the screen that reads, "This is how you die."
So what you got to do with the actual water after that?
You can use...
No, you don't tell me! What? Okay, so drink lake water. That's going to be fine then. Drink lake water? How is rainwater? No, what? Okay.
It's rotten food in your dishes without getting sick. This is a very underrated game mechanic that allows you to ration food much more effectively, as rotten food isn't a complete waste anymore.
Oh.
Short blade weapons are best used for stealth combat, as you can potentially one-shot zombies. They're the only melee weapon in the game with an animation check, which will allow you to stealthily take out zombies by stabbing them in the head.
And that's what I've got to learn as well. When I do eventually hobble and push someone over, so I always get to the floor or get to the curb, I've got to then walk over to their head instead of like their legs or something to try and get that initial quick kill.
Looks something like this.
Oh, that is so cool.
Short blunt and short blade weapons use less stamina than long blade and long blunt weapons.
Okay, so short is going to be better then.
Weapons are smaller and you're only using one body part instead of 2. That being said, I've had much better luck knocking zombies over with long blunt weapons than short blunt, so do with that what you will.
I like the short blades that we're using.
Riverside has the smallest zombie spawns in the game, making it a great starting location for new players.
That's where we are.
The only downside of this is that you'll be starting in Riverside, which is objectively disgusting and the least fun area to play in, but...
Yeah, but eventually you can move over. Let me go back over to this map because I have a game plan that I want to show you. So that is my long-term base that I want to set up in Riverside here, because and then it gives me access to this area over here. But eventually, when I've got the car, the gas and stuff like that, I can go through this back road here that I see on the map, all the way down, follow it, follow it, follow it, follow it. And then it brings me over to this location and where I want to set up another base. Long term here, I can barricade this off. I've got a water source in terms of that. I've also got a nice little, what do they call that, decking or whatever, out on the water. You got the lake, and then what I can eventually do is start moving inward to this town and then hit the big city eventually, where my long-term goal is to maybe set up in a stadium or even in Central Park and kind of build that out as one big base. But I think these are all in stages of what I want to try and set out and do. But that's the goal. I think having like short-term and long-term goals and where I'm going to be moving, and Riverside is not going to be the final place that I rest.
Hey, at least you don't die in the first 15 minutes anymore, right? Rosewood has the second lowest zombie spawns in the game, but has far more POIs and is generally considered the best spawning option for beginners.
Okay.
I'm biased on this because Rosewood is my favorite spawn location in the game.
So I'll write Rosewood down as well.
A prison, a mechanic shop, a grocery store, 2 gas stations, and a bookstore.
We can visit that, but I like Riverside.
You won't feel overwhelmed the way you do when you click Baldra because it's the first option. Yeah, I know you did that on your first playthrough because I did it too. Stop it, make the right decision, and spawn Rosewood.
No, I went Riverside.
You can highlight zombies with the green outline for melee and firearms weapons by changing the aim outline option in your settings.
Okay, so cursor, outline, any weapon. Just writing these things down so it's something I can do when
currently targeting, or if you're in range to hit them with a melee weapon. Just
when we're in game.
On screen now to change the setting.
Okay, lovely. And that's obviously, I've seen another technique.
Camera while driving option in display settings will move the camera while driving, obviously.
Okay,
allowing you to better see what's in front of you.
Driving. And what I've seen that a lot of people like to do,
such as fencing,
is moving back while they're hitting an enemy, so they're constantly always at an advantage. That I've seen that veteran players have been doing. Pan camera, I've got to tick that as well. And we got to be a little stealth wizard here.
The character will automatically drop down to fully conceal themselves behind the fencing, hiding themselves from zombies. You can use knives to craft spears in place of chipped stones. So instead of spending days foraging for sticks and stones,
because I've got a crowbar.
Half of that by just grabbing some branches and a kitchen knife. One thing to note with this is that the knife condition will reduce with each spear crafted, so keep that in mind when bulk crafting spears.
Ah, interesting. So you could use that
in the glove compartment or on the floor nearby. It can also be found in the houses if the car is parked outside of one.
Oh, what? So I've got to keep an eye on... Okay, car keys on the floor or in the house. On floor or in house.
You can't find a car key in the glove box? Try entering search mode. This will help you locate a key if there's one on the ground nearby.
Oh, that's what that is for.
Placing a generator inside and turning it on will kill you. Always place your generators outside, which brings me to my next tip. While turning...
Is that because of the carbon monoxide, I'm guessing? Is that realistic? It's like, Dumbo, don't do that. I don't even know where generators are or what you got to hook up in terms of
generators
power.
will attract zombies in a radius, regardless of what level they're placed on. So, there's no difference between placing it outside on the first floor versus the 7th. You can build platforms in the 2nd story of buildings by placing a wood floor outside of a window. This will allow you to build out more on the 2nd floor of a base without having to build stairs to climb up to it.
Oh, so with one of my starter houses, I can open the window of the 2nd floor and then create my own balcony, essentially, and then maybe get up onto the roof, start planting some different stuff. Can I dismember, like, the roof and stuff like that and create my own kind of flat roof? So, and then I can put, like, plants on there and some other bits and bobs and survey the area?
This is super useful if you have a safe house in a city like Louisville where it's overcrowded and the only way to go is up. You can simply build out from each one of the higher levels and bridge to the other buildings without ever having to touch the ground.
Okay, that is what I'm going to do if we refer back to this map again. Let me just show you my map. This is where I want to build. So I'm in this little starter house here. I think for the main little base, I'm going to just barricade this all the way across. End up taking this shrub out. And then I've got these 2 houses to play with. And I can end up just taking one down or whatever. But I've got a nice bit of green land and available to park my cars and stuff like that. Trees to get my stuff up. I think that's a nice little area to begin with, and I think that's what I should
Stop
do.
searching houses for specific books or magazines. Skill books and recipe mags can be found in the Enigma bookstores or the schools, as they have library sections. Each of these areas will contain several bookshelves full of various books and magazines that you can use to get a huge jump start on learning recipes or grinding out some skills. Much more efficient than finding one book per house.
Yeah, that's nuts. So there is a school, it's nearby, it's on the interactive map. I'll just make sure to have a little look at that. But I know we've already got the book for carpentry across the street.
Have weapon armories inside of them where you can gear up quickly at the start of your playthroughs. The only issue is that they're locked behind 2 doors. If you can't find a key on a zombie in the building, you can simply break these doors by smacking them with any item, like a metal pipe for example, until they break, giving you access to all the weapons and ammo hidden inside. Marsh Bridge is the only city in the base game that does not feature a police station. If you think that's crazy, it's also the city with the least amount of POIs. Intended to be a college town, the majority of the city is just apartment or condo-styled houses, along with the community center, dormitory complex, and other small stores.
Whoa.
This is overall a great city if you're car hunting, but other than that, there isn't a big reason to come here.
Okay, so that's one to avoid unless you got a car, but I think there's going to be a car in Riverside. So police station is a point of call to go to as well in order to arm up. Police station, so that will be on our way to making our actual second base. The one that I'm going to hunker down is going to be
the American public school system.
first.
You're able to find small firearms in school lockers.
Oh, lovely.
Let's take this at face value and keep it moving.
Oh, they really put this realistic, didn't they? Oh, my.
There are several cabins hidden throughout the wilderness available for use, one of which has a well located nearby, meaning you can practically survive forever if you wanted to become a doomsday survivor. Cabbages are the best crop for dealing with hunger, providing minus 25 hunger per cabbage. But potatoes are the best crop for gaining weight, as they contain more calories. In the northeast section of Louisville, you can find a baseball bat factory that contains a ton of bats ready for smashing zombie skulls with. A great early looting area if you're rocking with long blunt weapons for your playthrough. You can typically get in, grab a few bats, and
I think we've only got a crowbar or maybe a kitchen knife at the moment, so that's all we're rocking in terms of weapons.
Get out before you pull too many zombies, as long as you don't get too greedy and try to loot the entire building in one run. Which, let's be honest, we've all been there before.
Yeah, you get overweight real quick.
Carpentry skills in the early levels is to disassemble crates or other objects like beds, tables, and chairs found in houses.
Yes, this is what I need.
Planks to build with, or
this is what I need to do.
Convert to use as weaponized 2x4s. You're struggling to find food outside of the major cities, you can find hundreds of crates at the warehouses scattered throughout Knox County. They'll typically be filled with bags of fruits or vegetables that you can use.
Where's Knox County now? I know there's a grocery store near me.
Crates for carpentry XP. The most popular location for this is McCoy Logging, which can be turned into a nice late game base location. The crates at McCoy's won't have bags of fruit, but they will be full of nails, hammers, saws, seeds, shotguns, buckets, and if you're lucky, you might even find a sledgehammer.
Oh, potato seed sack. Okay, McCoy's. The logging cabin. So that, I think Knoxville is a long way away from me, but potato seeds are potentially in there. We might just get them in the grocery store that's near to me, so I won't have to travel all the way here.
Just be careful around here, as it's typically full of zombies that you'll need to clear out first.
Oh, yeah.
There are only a handful of wells in Knox County, but each provides unlimited clean drinking water. The most popular well location can be found near a farmhouse in the middle of the map, which can serve as a popular base location for beginners.
Oh, okay.
The best way to level up aiming early on is to grab a shotgun and group up some zombies, instead of trying to rely on pistols or rifles. The spread from a shotgun allows you to hit up to 3 zombies, whereas other weapons only allow you to hit 1 at a time. If you're looking for an antique oven to help survive the winter months, you can always find one at the shed to the south of the Farm to the West POI.
No. We gotta deal with winter! Oh, come on.
One will always spawn in the shed on every playthrough, so it's worth keeping on the radar for when winter comes around. Generators are a necessity come late game, or
where do we get these?
They spawn in garages, warehouses, or self-storage locations. That being said, you're most likely to find one in the self-storage location, as each storage unit counts as one potential spawning point for a generator. Just make sure you bring a sledgehammer to break down the doors, unless you plan on spending days beating each one with a metal pipe.
So you need a sledgehammer for big doors. Oh, so I can use the sledgehammer for garage doors then if they end up locked, but I should be able to go through the window anyway.
Sterilize ripped sheets or bandages by boiling water with a stove. Sterilized bandages are a game changer in Project Zomboid, and a great way to build up a surplus of them without burning through your disinfectant or your bourbon is to just grab a pot of water and boil it. From there, you can select your bandages and begin sterilizing them.
Okay, there's so much already that I've got to learn. This is like... This is like this is like real life. Oh my god. But it's gonna be worth it in the long run. I know that my character that I have now is not gonna be surviving for long, because I know there's gonna be like future generations that are gonna take over the save and stuff like that. So I shouldn't really get attached to one character.
From vehicles. A big one for when the power goes out, you need fuel for a generator to turn on the gas pumps at a gas station.
Oh yeah, of course
you can simply loop the gas station for a water or soda bottle, empty the liquid, then siphon fuel from a nearby vehicle, which you can use to power the generator. One piece.
I thought we would have needed some actual pipe in order to do that, like you have to do in real life, and then suck on the end to get it going. But no, bottle of water.
Bottles do not seem to work with this currently. It needs to either be a soda or water bottle for this to work.
Soda or water
Empty
bottle,
sacks can be filled with dirt and dumped on the ground, making it possible to create indoor gardens during the winter. Each empty sack can hold 4 squares of dirt, but can be reused indefinitely. Water in Project Zomboid never freezes, meaning you can drink from wells and rivers during the winter. Sucks for ice fishing, but it's great for surviving in a video game. Placing bandages over a stitched wound will cause the injury to heal slower. Leave stitched injuries unbandaged to heal the deep wound faster. Best case scenario for stitched wounds is to lay low for a few days and just let it heal. Building off the...
So during that time of laying low, I would then sort of just watch TV, and then read any sort of books or anything like that, because you can also use the TV to level up like carpentry and stuff like that with certain TV shows, can't you?
Last tip, you can use a thread and needle to stitch a deep wound instead of a suture needle and suture needle holder. This is great in a pinch if you find yourself with glass stuck in your groin, but haven't had the chance to hit up a medical center yet. The fastest way to level up first aid is to stand on broken glass barefoot and repeatedly remove the glass from your feet, which does not sound so delightful. You can also
no, do I look like the guy from Moon Knight? No, I'm not stepping on glass.
These events if you want to be lazy. Guns will typically do more harm than good in the early game. Try to avoid them
makes too much
until you're
noise,
in a position
doesn't it?
where you can continue to fight until the area is cleared. Gunshots will attract zombies from all over. Pair that with low aiming at the start, and you'll be dead before you know it. The safest base location for beginners is the farmhouse to the west of Muldra. It's isolated from large hordes, has a TV for life and living and VHS tapes, a ton of storage, a well, and there's an antique oven in the shed behind it.
I don't know, I don't really want to go to where like everyone is recommended to go for beginners. I kind of just want to spread my wings. Like, if I end up dying, so be it. I've got to learn. I'm playing on Apocalypse difficulty as well. Why not? I've got to learn this game, so make it a challenge.
You can actually hide from the heli event by staying indoors and away from the windows. Moving into the wilderness will also get you out of the thick of the event, as zombies will not be able to track you as easily, and you can just loop around to the other end, leaving all the zombies stuck in the woods. You can sleep in cars. I know, what a crazy concept, right? Just press B to open the vehicle menu and click the Z's icon to
Okay, B for the car menu. I'm gonna have to remember that. Car menu. Okay, this is actually so informational.
If you find yourself in a car and ridiculously tired, pull the driver's side up next to another car or building so they're hugging. It'll stop zombies from being able to get
Big brain.
Build a base on top of the swimming pool. You can still hit zombies with spears from the bottom and the left.
I know why.
You fish, and if you bring dirt, you can have a bonfire without any issue. Survivor houses tend to have more cars that are in better condition overall. Something to look at.
Oh, so we gotta check the condition of different cars and everything like that as well? Oh, no.
Out for next time you're on a looting run through the suburbs. Or if you find an annotated map anywhere.
A truck or a lorry would be better.
Turned into 2x4s. They have decent durability for a starter weapon and can be grabbed from disassembling any furniture in houses early on or by sawing logs. Standing or walking on broken glass will damage your shoes, so next time you bust through the window like the damn Kool-Aid man, take a second to check your shoes, because there's nothing worse than losing all condition and walking around with a limp because you didn't check yourself before you wrecked yourself.
Oh, okay, I've got to remember that. And I've also got to remember whenever I do smash a window, I've got to remove the glass first, or Timmy's going to be dead within a matter of moments.
Pressing shift and the W key while driving will set cruise control for your car. You can increase or decrease the cruise control speed by pressing shift and the W or D keys.
Living the high life? In a zombie apocalypse? Yeah, I got cruise control.
Taking enough sleeping tablets will insta-kill your character, especially when adding alcohol. Play it safe and avoid one while using the other, because there's nothing worse than ending your run because you wanted to impersonate Johnny Depp and Charlie Sheen for the night.
Oh, that's nuts! Yeah, I'm just gonna make sure to sleep in a bed like a normal person. Yeah, I take sleeping tablets, but yeah, okay.
If you find yourself running around with a leather jacket in the middle of August, you'll become incredibly sweaty very quickly. That's not just in Project Zomboid. Use deodorant, people. But
What?
for the sake of Project Zomboid, if you find yourself incredibly sweaty, drenched, or just standing out in the middle of a thunderstorm, use towels to dry yourself off. They'll keep you dry and keep you from getting sick.
So I have to have change of clothes depending on the time of year as well? Oh, please tell me there's like a clothes rack or something like that where I can store clothes. Otherwise, this is okay.
If you need to, you can survive a 3-story fall with good RNG and full health. But a 4th story and above is an insta-death.
Ooh.
If you have the Speed Demon perk, roll down your window. It lets you look farther down the road for obstacles when driving fast.
I was about to say, what do I want to roleplay as a dog and stick my tongue out the window while going fast? Okay, so that's a little bit later on when I get a car and stuff like that. I think just getting the base sorted out first is my priority.
Almost every door in the game can be broken by swinging a blunt weapon against it. The only exception to this is the fencing around stores like the gun store in West Point, which you'll need a sledgehammer to break through.
Okay,
if you need
sledgehammer
to get to an
is
area of
key.
zombies without burning down half a city, find a car and set off its car alarm. This will pull zombies away from your location and towards the car, which you can then use to get to wherever you're going.
Oh,
The
smart.
Outdoorsman trait is arguably the most underrated trait in the entire game. Basically, negating any negative weather impacts and preventing you from getting sick due to exposure.
I can't remember what trait I picked, but I only was able to pick one. I don't know if I've done it incorrectly or not. Oh, and I need to do this as well with the top bit to have my inventory and loot all up the top there as well, so it's nice and neat.
Fishing is a fantastic way to gather food early on. With no levels in the skill, you're able to catch a fish with 10,000 plus calories, capable of sustaining you for weeks off one fish alone. Car batteries recharge as long
And then I'm guessing you're able to put the fish inside of the freezer that you have as well, so the fishing shack where I want to set up is probably good because it's got the fishing rod.
as the car is turned on. Don't start and stop the engine. Try and leave it running when you can.
Oh,
In a public
okay.
lobby, you can lock the doors of a hot-wired car from inside and then leave the unlocked door leading into your base. This will prevent people from stealing your vehicles if you're unable to park them inside the safe house.
I don't have to worry about that. I'm not playing multiplayer. I'll probably get kidnapped and just left naked somewhere and just, that's it. That's me over and done with. No. Multiplayer is a long way off and I haven't got no friends anyway, so I wouldn't be able to play. Well, I don't know any friends that have Project Zomboid.
Multiplayer servers, safe houses can only be claimed from actual buildings. In order to create a base from scratch and name it as a safe house, you'll need to use the admin tools to create a custom safe zone, which will act in the same manner.
Okay, that's kind of
You
nuts.
can use a closed umbrella as a spear. Now, that's really all I have. I don't know what else information you need. but
I've used that a
use
couple of
umbrellas, I
times. It
guess.
was useful.
Friends make good bait and great snacks. Never has.
Remember, if you're in a zombie apocalypse, you've just got to be faster than your friend and you'll be fine. That's it. Just be faster than the person next to you. And it's surviving
hesitate to
101.
sacrifice your friends if it means living to fight another day.
What?
The Dart is the quietest car in the game. Zombies only chase it within 15 blocks if it's full rev, meaning you're redlining that bitch. If you find yourself on a dirt path or off
there's
the road
Mustangs.
and struggle keeping a vehicle in first gear, driving backwards is effectively a safer and faster method as the speed will be faster than your normal driving speed, and if you hit anything, it will damage your trunk and not the front of your car and your precious face. Stop shooting guns when you don't have the ammo to clear the entire area.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Players
be
tend
using
vastly
guns.
underestimate the sound that guns make when you shoot them, which
Unless you're able to get suppressors in this game, I want to go like full covert stealth, only taking out zombies when I can, but suppressors I think might be rare in terms of
ends
crafting
up
and
pulling
stuff.
way more zombies than they were expecting. If you find yourself making a safe house and end up creating your own door, if you have the house key to the house that you took the doorknob from, you'll be able to lock and unlock the door that you've crafted. While driving, you're able to reload your guns. The only problem with this is that you can't steer while reloading, so keep that in mind when going Mach Jesus down the highway with a 100-round box mag. Zombie tracking can be exploited pretty easily. When trying to lose a horde, run behind a building or out of sight of the initial horde, crouch and pause for about 2 seconds. This will set the zombie pathing to your current location and mark as the last known spot, which they will target.
Oh, awesome. So there is like a hidden stealth mechanic in this game, or like last scene, like you would see in like Metal Gear Solid or Splinter Cell Conviction. They're like, oh, that dum-dum was lost
After
there.
waiting 1 to 2 seconds, you can stand up and walk away as the zombies are no longer tracking you directly, but rather your last known location. Read your skill books while you're next to a tuned-in radio or TV to get cooking or building XP at the same time.
Yes.
This is really useful when watching life and living in those early days, as you're not going to have enough time to just sit around reading all the Volume 1 books. If you have a safe house, a sink, a wrench, and a water barrel, you can place that water barrel on the tile directly above your sink, and then plumb the water into the sink with the wrench, which will give you clean drinking water without having to boil it. You can also...
But we weren't able to drink from the water barrel things before, wasn't it? Unless it filters itself because you've plumbed it in.
Take this further and stack multiple rain collectors next to each other to add an increasingly larger amount of water available to you and your faction. Grabbing the lumberjack occupation while creating your character will give you the Axeman trait, an exclusive trait which allows you to swing axes and chop trees down faster.
No, I grabbed the first aid one because I thought in terms
of... Veteran is the best occupation to take for a combat-focused build, as it comes with the Desensitized trait, which negates all levels of panic, making combat much easier. The Burglar occupation comes with an exclusive trait as well, allowing you to hotwire vehicles without meeting the skill requirements.
Oh, that probably would have been a good one to have, because probably finding them keys it's like Velma trying to find her glass is going to take ages. I picked first aid because I was like, well, if I'm going to die or always bleeding or something, that might help me out better.
Basically giving you a chance at any car on day 1. All traits that give XP boost to your major skills can be stacked with the Fast Learner trait, effectively allowing you to max out some skills within days of starting a run. The best negative traits to grab for free points are Slow Reader, High Thirst, Very Underweight, as long as you're not running a 6 months later.
Oh, was I supposed... No! So it might be actually better to kill off Bruce Smith at some point and actually create a new character with the available traits and stuff, because I haven't done that properly. I've literally just picked one and was like, yeah, cool, that looks good to me. I've spent all my points, but you've got to take negative traits in order to add some positives.
Playthrough and weak stomach. Thin skin can be completely negated by wearing some type of armored clothing, such as a leather jacket. The trait itself only impacts skin contact and zero protection, meaning as soon as you throw a hoodie on, you're safe as long as it's not completely destroyed.
Oh, awesome.
If you're looking at must-have beginner traits, go with Fast Learner, Cat's Eyes, Dexterous, Outdoorsman, and Keen Hearing. These are the safest picks and provide the
Fast Learner is probably a good one.
The Clumsy trait also impacts your ability to climb over fences and objects, as you'll trip and scratch yourself more often. This is important to know, as the trait itself, at least at the time of this video, just says that you make more noise when moving. If you're struggling...
Imagine that, you end up dying because you tripped over a fence. Has anyone, have you heard that before? Let me know in the comments.
With vanilla Project Zomboid, consider adding the following quality of life mods to your game. Better sorting, which creates more categories for items to be identified as. Extra map symbols just adds more symbols to the map that you can place down, as well as symbol size slider, which adds an option to increase the size of the symbol that you're placing on the map.
Oh, that's cool.
Finally, fuel side indicator, which will let you know which side to park your car on when getting gas at a gas station.
Oh, that's cool. And can you add the mods into a pre-existing save already? Because I was looking at the motorbike mods as well. Because I ride a motorbike in real life and I kind of want to like simulate that in the game. I think that'd be really cool. But I didn't know if you'd have to create a totally new save. Please do let me know.
The weight system in Project Zomboid is really stupid in the sense that you can only lose 1 kilogram per day, but can gain up to 3 per day in the game. So when you find yourself picking traits, consider going very underweight, not obese, as it'll be much faster to gain 20 kgs than lose 15. The Life and Living channel provides skill XP to various crafting skills and is available several times throughout the day, most notably at 6 AM, 12 PM, 6 PM.
No! There's an actual timetable for different shows. Oh my. Okay, so carpentry, the one that I need first, is at 12 PM and I think I already have an alarm clock, so I'm gonna be needing that. Oh look, slow learner and fast learner is that's double.
PM and 12 AM. Your character can become bored if they sit inside for too long. This can be negated by simply stepping outside and touching grass.
Oh, okay, just
Antique
like real
ovens,
life.
while difficult to find, are great for the winter, as they heat up the room that they're placed in, meaning you can survive a night without worrying about dying from exposure.
Awesome.
If you have wood planks, nails, and a hammer, you can build wooden floors out onto ponds, rivers, and other bodies of water. But we actually exploited this mechanic on my Project Zomboid server a while back.
Can you make a base out there
then?
then?
The river into the unknown. Building wooden floors and then disassembling them will transform the ground underneath into dirt, which can be used to dig furrows. This works on water and roads, so don't be shy with how you use it. If you're
so if you set up a base that has a load of concrete or whatever first initially, then you can just do that, and then you've got grass available in a base that you potentially could not have had in the first place.
Tired of constantly walking through hedges around your base, you can remove them by placing wooden flooring on top of them. Sheet rope can be crafted
Okay. I've written that down and Kiwi's going nuts. Hello, my boy.
from clothing and be used to make rope ladders, preventing zombies from reaching you. Just be careful.
We were talking about this in the comments.
Stranding you 8 stories above ground. Because of this, always keep extra sheet rope or regular rope nearby so you can re-add it when you're ready to get back on. Schools offer some of the best looting locations in the game.
Wow.
Not only are they equipped with large libraries for all your skilling needs, but you can also loot the building, which will often provide warm clothing like Letterman jackets, lunchboxes with food to sustain yourself, and backpacks, which will be a lifesaver in your playthrough.
We luckily found a backpack already, and that's what we got early on. I just didn't know that I could access it until someone left it in the comments of the first playthrough, that there's different icons on the right-hand side, like my fanny pack and my backpack, different types of storage. So maybe I put my flashlight in there, my hammer, some other type of tools, but maybe the belt's going to be better utilized for that.
If you're not ready to take on military checkpoints for some high-tiered loot, you might get lucky and find an annotated map, which will typically contain some form of firearm or powerful weapon hidden in the house.
Whoa!
Just be sure to check the surroundings first. You don't want to go nuts to butts and end up tripping a house alarm, pulling every zombie in Kentucky over to you.
There's house alarms? How do I deactivate the house alarms, or do I just run off?
Bodies can kill you. No, really. After piling up a mass grave to violate the Geneva Convention, you'll notice flies appear near zombies. You hang around for too long, you'll start to get queasy.
No.
You still can't take a fucking hint, you'll end up getting sick, which will inevitably kill you. For the love of God.
What?
If you're new to Project Zomboid, unbind shouting. It's Q by default, and I'm sure you've already been told to press Q to unlock Reddit Gold at least once in your time playing.
No,
personally,
not yet.
I can't tell you how many times I fat-fingered the key in the middle of Louisville, basically ensuring my own death.
Okay.
Take it from me. Unbind it until you're more comfortable taking out. It'll quite literally save your life. Do you hate the fact that everything is blurry and discolored when foraging? Well, you can change that by hopping into the display settings and scrolling all the way to the bottom, where you'll find the search mode overlay effect. Setting this to use no effect will turn off the blur and desaturation option, allowing you to see your surroundings more clearly when foraging. If you're feeling overwhelmed while looting, you can pause the game, well, as long as you're in single player. Pressing F2 while looting nearby objects will still allow you to scroll through the containers, no matter how many there are. Find what you're looking for, unpause, grab it, and get on with your day.
Okay, so you can F2 to loot, and I can left click and right click also on some items like the fridge and the freezer that I didn't know of as well, so I've got to utilize that.
Tailoring is an incredibly underrated skill. At level 10, using leather strips to add padding will provide a 20% boost to scratches and laceration protection, and a 10% boost in bite protection. Pair this with some late game armor, or run the scrap armor mod, and you're practically invincible. As long as you don't
that's
get
worth
pulled
doing
down.
then, yes?
If you don't know where you're going, use the official Project Zomboid map. It's got most POIs marked on it, and you can even add your own, so you'll always know where to go in your next looting run.
Oh, that's what the thing was in the top hand right side. Oh, we're learning. This interactive map is actually so good.
Personally, I always keep this open on another monitor while I play, so I always have everything mapped out. When fortifying a location, you can prevent zombies from breaking in by building a fence-crate fence pattern. This will prevent zombies from climbing over or hitting the fence due to the way the pathing is programmed. It's a little cheesy.
No, they can climb the fence! Oh no! So I am gonna have to build these boxes crates. Oh, so maybe that base that I wanted initially is not going to be good then.
But something that's worth recommending to new players who are struggling. The only fault in this is that crawler zombies can break through the fencing, so be on the lookout for that. Vitamins are essentially worthless to most players. They provide -2 fatigue, meaning you'd have to eat like 15 servings of them to be somewhat effective, instead of just going to bed and continuing your objective the next day.
Okay.
Trust me, it's not worth dying over. If you find yourself in pain or in high states of panic, drink some booze. Beer, wine, or bourbon.
Just like real life, got anxiety or anything like that, just have a beer, take the edge off, don't worry about it. I think we've already got some bourbon. I think we have 2 of it.
It will not only reduce unhappiness, but it'll also reduce panic, pain, and make you sleepy. Truly the PZ Swiss Army knife of taking out negative moodles. Metal pipes have some of the strongest durability in the game for weapons, so if you ever find yourself in need, take a propane torch and a welder's mask and disassemble either a bathtub, a toilet, or a metal gate and go nuts.
What? Okay, that's interesting to know.
Holding down R will open the reload menu, allowing you to rack around in the chamber, reload a magazine, swap out magazines, or unjam your gun. If you're using firearms and your gun jams, you can unjam it by simply pressing X on your keyboard while holding the gun. This will save you the time of opening your weapon menu.
I think it's going to be a long while until we get guns anyway, I think.
Clicking on the option to unjam it yourself. I have a free-to-play multiplayer server with over 1,000 members on it that you can join for any additional assistance with learning the game.
There you go, if anyone wants to join that.
Join my Discord and over 2,500 people who are more than happy to help you with anything Project Zomboid related. And there
and we've also created that in our own Discord as well. I want to create a little Project Zomboid section in the Discord, so you can join theirs or mine if you would like as well.
101 beginner tips and tricks to use in your next playthrough. I hope this helped in some way, even if you only picked up one new trick to try out.
No,
if you made it to the end, thanks for watching.
I got my notes. Thank you so much.
My YouTube members as well, who help me to keep making videos for you all.
That was awesome. It really does. It gives me an insight even more into Project Zomboid. I'm gonna have to go back to watch this video again. Like, if I remember or can't remember certain bits, I'm like, okay, I gotta do that again. I can do this. It's gonna be a massive learning curve, but I'm here for it. And I really do appreciate everyone that is joining me on this journey. Like I said in the Project Zomboid video, I want to make this like a long-term series that is on the channel for like years. It's just that one game that I constantly go back to. We have like story arcs or like series events for it, so we could have like one season where we play Project Zomboid, we leave it for like a month or two, we go back in a new season, new character, new locations, maybe a modded playthrough or something like that. But it will always be on the channel, because I think that'd be really, really cool. But this is where I'm going to leave this video here. This is quite a lengthy video, but I wanted to take in all the new tips and stuff like that and break it down and also show you my ideas for Project Zomboid. I think that's one of the coolest things in Project Zomboid that you can do. So if you want to watch the playthrough that we're doing currently, that should be over here, or one of the parts should be right here. As always, do take care of yourself, enjoy Project Zomboid if you are playing it, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.